to Centurions Corner, and today we are doing another crossover. So we have done a few superhero crossovers, and I didn't want to keep carrying along that line because it gets a little bit tiresome, you know, and what other characters you want to bring over and stuff like that. So obviously I still want to do superheroes, there's still a lot out there, but I didn't want to keep doing it. I want to kind of sort of chop it, change it, because there is lots and lots of different interests out there that we can bring over, such as branding. So if you do follow me on Instagram, I actually am a kind of a bit of a watch enthusiast. So I do like putting my watches and stuff like that on with the figures and all that sometimes now and again. And I have done it before, but they're not as popular videos. So I do have a droid series kind of parts on there. So we have actually done this with an Omega. So because you can see like the actual dial on there. The actual face is normally blue, so we've gone for the blue. We've got little red accents around on him for the second hand, and then the silver as well to represent like the bracelet. So this is OM3G4, you know, so he's a new sort of Star Wars in the character in the line and stuff. We have done the Clone Trooper that was kind of inspired by the Rolex, which is on here, and the Rolex Batman. So this is kind of where this first crossover actually initiated to come from. So where do we go with this guy? So as you can see, he is the Sergeant, and I'm going to be over painting this guy I'm going to be doing the new bootleg Clone Troopers, and actually going to be bringing them into like the Attack of the Clone line. So I just need to keep buying the bootleg Clone Troopers of the newer form, and then one day I'll do a whole video of where I'm creating the whole entire line into the new bodies. So this was one of the very first videos I've ever done, which was putting the knife to the Sergeant. It was like literally one of the very first ones where I did all the sort of weathering and stuff, and you can see how far really I have come from it, but it's time for him to be properly upgraded. So today I'm going to turn him into a shock trooper, and not any type of shock trooper. It's actually going to be a Gshock trooper. So taking inspiration from the actual Casio Gshock, which is this watch on my wrist. You know, it's dark. We're going to go black. We're going to do the white accents on there, a little bit of silvering as well on there, and also bring over the inspiration of the branding of the red G as well. So I guess without further ado, I don't know where he's going to go. I'm going to build up some concepts as I'm building him, but the main important thing is going completely black. So without further ado, let's crack on with it. So welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, or if you're still carrying on watching and enjoying the content, please hit that like button. You can subscribe and ding that bell. It really helps out the channel and really appreciated. So thank you for joining me on this one, and I'll see you at the end of this video for the Gshock Trooper review. CT-2100, the Gshock Trooper. No job is too small for these guys, built to tackle any situation and still deliver accuracy. Weathered and ready to join all the other clone crossovers on the shelf, and I really enjoy doing these. I just love taking inspiration from something else, especially when it's a brand and you're not knowing what the end result's going to be. It kind of looks like a bit of a Purge Trooper from Fallen Order in a way, or maybe you might fall in line with the Bad Batch. But yeah, just having that kind of concept as you go in, not knowing what they're going to be, it's just a really good feeling when you actually finish it and it looks really cool. So obviously we've got to take inspiration from the watch, but also with the Star Wars kind of lore. So Gshock, Shock Trooper, Gshock Trooper, they always have these kind of like rectangular kind of markings on their armour. So I kind of went for that. So he's got 2 on his arms, 2 on his torso, we've got another 2 on this side. He's got 4 on his legs in total, and then obviously I've done the ammo pouches as well as white, so they're kind of rectangular, which in total adds up to 12, which is the 12-hour markers around on the actual watch itself. We've also done a white fin, which is to indicate the actual hour minute hands as well. And then we have the red G on the side, which is for the Gshock brand. And then I've also done kind of like the grey Imperial thing around here, what we normally do have actually on the actual figure, because it is green originally being the Sergeant. The actual branding inside on the writing is actually that grey as well. And then we have got some chrome kind of buttons and screws and stuff on the side, which is then reminiscence to the actual visor as well. So it's got all the details in there, and it still looks like it comes from the world of Star Wars. So removing the watch, and we can actually go through what the paints we use to actually bring this guy to life. So the paints we use, which is obviously simple, we have just used a pure black, which is X1, and it's a really nice black. I did add water and stuff to it because I didn't want it too shiny, and it's come off quite great actually. So that's a good little bit of paint pot there. Next up, we use the red, which is X7, and that's purely just for the G on the arm. Dark sea grey XF54, and that is just for the Imperial kind of colouring around on the back brow of the helmet. And then obviously X2 white, which is all for these extra kind of details and other bits around on the body. And then we have done a red brown XF64 wash over the body, and also I used the paint as well to add up a little bit more on the sort of to make it more apparent for weathering and stuff as well. And I have used the silver aluminium kind of paint pens that we have used before, the liquid chrome. You can get these from Amazon, and I've used that for the actual visor itself. I did actually paint it on though. I dabbed this into just to the tray just for a little bit, and then painted it on because these are running out. So yeah, I have made him really sort of like muddy and weathered and stuff as well, because you can't have a Gshock that is nice and clean, even though I do keep mine clean. But they are designed as sport watches, robust, to be knocked about, to be chucked around in mud and everything like that. So this is why this guy is literally caked in it. So taking a closer look at him, we can actually go through those details up close. So obviously we have silvered his visor, we have whitish cheeked, and his intercom down here, and the white fin on the back, and adding those extra details in there for the light and the other bits as well. His torso area, I've left the white in here and obviously his thermal detonator. It just has, because he was that sergeant before, he's got that horrible green kind of glow over the white. It's not very nice. It's kind of like the green's mixed into the actual plastic. So that's why I needed to coat him up completely. We have got the G on the shoulder and obviously the white markings all over him, plus all that sort of mud weathering all over him, and down on his belt as well. And then down to his legs, they're pretty much the same with the white markings, and then obviously the weathering and the black as well. So the DC Blaster itself, I do have lots of these guns, so I just decided, well, he's a crossover, he needs something a little bit more special than usual. So I cut off 2 barrels on the end and just simply glued 2 together. It's not a great kind of mod on there, but I just thought it would be giving him a little bit something different compared to what the rest have, just to make him a little bit more kind of out there. And yeah, I'm really happy how he's turned out, and I hope you might give me some more ideas to inspire what will be coming next. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you like this guy. Let me know down in the comments what other kind of characters or brands you would love to see go to actual Clone Trooper, and I'll see what I can do in the future videos. So thank you so much for joining me on this one. The paint details are all down there below in the description, as plus as my Instagram and the Facebook account. And you can subscribe and ding that bell. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye!